If death came for you tonight, what would you do to stop it? Would you drink poison if someone promised it would make you live forever? Would you freeze your body and gamble on the future? Would you let a machine kill you if it said it could copy your mind? For thousands of years, powerful people, scientists, kings, and billionaires have all asked the same question: can I escape death? Some of them thought they found the answer. They were wrong. And the terrifying part: one of these attempts is still happening right now. Qin Shi Huang, the emperor who drank mercury. Picture a 13-year-old boy sitting on a throne. Servants kneel, armies wait for orders, kingdoms fall at his command. This boy will grow up to become Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor to unite China. He standardizes writing. He standardizes money. He builds roads, canals, and the early foundations of what becomes the Great Wall. Everything obeys him, except death. No matter how many lands he conquers, he cannot conquer time. And that thought begins to eat at him. So he sends people across mountains, across oceans, across the edges of the known world. Find me the secret, he orders. Find me immortality. Magicians arrive, alchemists arrive. They bow and present him with a miracle, a shining red potion made from cinnabar. Mercury, they tell him it is divine. Liquid metal, not solid, not water, something in between. Surely something so strange must defeat death. So the emperor drinks it every day. While the poison builds inside his body, he prepares for forever. 700,000 workers carve an underground palace. A map of China is recreated beneath the earth. Rivers made of flowing mercury, ceilings studded with pearls for stars. An army of thousands of clay soldiers stands ready to protect him. Traps wait for grave robbers. Crossbows rigged to fire automatically. He will rule eternity. Except in 210 BC, at 49 years old, Qin Shi Huang collapses. Not in battle, not from age, from mercury poisoning. The immortality he swallowed every day slowly destroyed him from the inside. Even now, scientists say the soil around his tomb still shows dangerous levels of mercury. His poison is still there, waiting. And as his body is carried toward that underground palace, another man in another century is about to chase the same dream in a very different way. If stories like this pull you in, subscribe now, because the next one might be even darker. Nicholas Flamel, the man who was rumoured to find eternal life. Medieval Paris, narrow streets, candlelight, stone houses. A bookseller named Nicholas Flamel becomes rich, comfortable, successful. When he dies in the early 1400s, that should be the end, but it isn't. Because centuries later, whispers begin. They say Flamel discovered the Philosopher's Stone, a magical object that turns metal into gold and gives eternal life. People swear he faked his death. They claim he and his wife walk the world in secret, still alive. Treasure hunters even break into his grave. They expect to find nothing. Instead, they find bones. A normal burial, because the legend was never real, but the myth spreads like wildfire, inspiring thousands of others to try what Flamel never actually did. Men lock themselves in workshops, they heat mercury, they breathe poison, they mix arsenic with hope. Many go mad, some die shaking, blind, broken, all chasing a story that was never true. Yet even after bodies pile up, the obsession continues. And centuries later, a new version of the same fantasy appears, this time with lab coats, parabiosis, young blood. Old mice are sewn to young mice. their veins connected. Blood flows from youth into age, and something shocking happens. The old bodies start to heal, muscles grow stronger, brains work better. News spreads fast. Suddenly, rich people want what the mice had. Companies open clinics, pay thousands of dollars, they say, and will fill you with plasma from teenagers. No proof, no guarantee, just hope in a syringe. Some billionaires quietly sign up. Scientists watch in horror because transfusions can kill infections, lung failure, reactions. In 2019, the government steps in and warns people. There is no evidence this works. But even after the warnings, some people still believe. Because the fear of death is louder than caution. And if blood can't save you, maybe ice can. James Bedford, the first man frozen for the future. 1967. A psychology professor lies dying from cancer. Doctors can't save him. But a new idea has arrived. What if we freeze you right after death? Maybe future science can bring you back. So within hours, they pump chemicals into his body. They pack him in ice. They store him in a metal tank. Bedford becomes history's first cryonics patient. And he is still there today, decades later, floating in liquid nitrogen, waiting. More people follow, teachers, engineers, dreamers. Some pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for the chance. No one has ever been revived, not once, but the tanks keep filling because maybe tomorrow, maybe next century, someone will figure it out. But while bodies freeze in Arizona, a new group of believers says we don't need bodies at all. We just need data. If you're still with me, subscribe, because the final story might be the most unsettling of them all. The man who wants to upload himself. Modern day tech conferences, investors, glowing screens. A startup makes an offer. Give us $10,000. We will preserve your brain so perfectly that one day we can scan it and place you inside a computer. You will live forever. There is one small detail. The process will kill you immediately. The founders say it calmly. The experience will feel just like assisted suicide. And still, people sign up. Why? Because if a digital version wakes up later, talking, thinking, remembering, maybe that counts as survival. But here's the nightmare nobody can answer. If the copy wakes up and you are gone, who escaped death? You or a machine pretending to be you? Scientists admit something uncomfortable. We still don't understand consciousness. We don't know what makes you, you. So promising immortality might be nothing more than selling a very expensive goodbye. Yet the funding continues, the research continues, and somewhere, right now, someone is preparing to trade their life for a future that might never arrive. From emperors drinking poison, to alchemists chasing myths, to billionaires buying young blood, to bodies frozen in steel chambers, to minds that hope to wake up in code. Humanity keeps trying to defeat the same enemy, and every time the ending is the same. Death waits, patient, unimpressed. But here's the part that should stay with you. Every generation believes it will be the one that finally wins. And maybe one day, one of them will. The question is, what will be left of us if they do?